Hey guys, welcome to a monthly bonus episode of the weekly Hotspot. I'm your host Cody, and today joining me is a really special guest. We got Nick from Livestream for The Cure joining us. How you doing today, Nick?
I've had 2 margaritas and my feet hurt like hell. I'm pumped.
Let's go. I completely understand it. I'm just lacking the margaritas. I gotta save that for after. But today we are going to go through and we're going to talk about our top 10 most disappointing superhero films. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean bad, but the ones that we were anticipating the most and the ones that just really made us shit our pants like, what the fuck? So before we get into it, do you have any dishonorable mentions that just barely didn't make the list?
So I didn't spend. Let me take that back. I looked at a whole bunch of different disappointing movies because when you do a list, you pull up other lists to collate kind of did I miss this pick that was kind of on the fringe of my mind or whatever? Dishonorable mentions I would have to think would be a lot of. And there's a couple at the bottom of my list, so we'll get to them when we get to them. But, there's a couple that first time we ever saw that superhero, I'll say, you know what I'm talking about when I say that, like the origin story of that superhero. Like when we watch it, you're just a little bit disappointed in it. Like for instance, the Garfield Amazing Spider-Man movies, neither one of them's on my list. They're extremely okay. I was a little disappointed in them, but I wasn't mega disappointed in them. And there's a lot of other kind of situations like that on my list where I just wasn't heartbroken by them. But I would say a lot of origin stories would fall into my dishonorables. I don't have anything specific though. I really don't, just because I just don't.
So I only have 3, and honestly, these 3 could jump into my list at any given time. But I felt like there were certain movies that I just had to put in there to make a point, and just giant F you to Marvel. Spoilers.
We're gonna get along really well. Really well.
I love superhero movies. I go see them almost every single opening night. But I have quite a few that I fucking hate.
I have more than a few. But I feel like hate is different than disappoint. Like I hate, famously, if you know me at all from my history in epic film, guys, I hated both Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Hate them. Absolutely hate them. Cody's face says it all right now.
God.
I hate both of them. I really do. And I'm extremely critical in terms of films in general. I think I apply my normal critical skill set to superhero films too. I can't forgive things just because it's a part of the superhero genre. There's some stuff coming up on my list where I'm probably going to get that. I just got the jaw drop out of Cody. I just dropped a massive spoiler on him, or some big shock, some big twist or something happened. It's going to happen again before this show's over. I guarantee it. Yeah, I like I said, if especially if you're familiar with me at all, I mean, epic film guys for 6 years. I hate a lot of superhero movies, a lot, and a lot of them I am extremely seriously, you liked this? Yeah.
It's okay. I'm gonna go over my 3 dishonorables real quick, and then we'll jump over to you. I don't know what to say because I have a feeling I know one of the movies that is going to be on there. And, it'll probably hurt me, but I literally asked for this, so.
We'll get there. Yeah, you invited me here.
I'm already starting to record.
I'm honestly, before we even get into it though, thank you so much for inviting me, for having me. Any chance I get to be on the microphone to talk about movies, which is something I love, is amazing. And to hear, so Cody, plug your ears for just a moment. To hear like somebody was just like, I used to listen to Epic Film Guys when I was in high school, is a scary thing to me. I was icing my feet earlier tonight because I'm so old and my feet hurt so bad from being on my feet so much today. So like, you know, that's the life I'm living these days. It's a surreal moment in podcasting when someone's like, yeah, I used to listen to you when I was 15. Huh?
Hey, man.
I'm honored. I'm seriously honored. I'm grateful to be here sharing the mic with you. So thank you.
Of course. Well, with that, let's just jump right into your number 10. Take it away. Let us see what you got.
Well, so here's the thing. You and I were talking before about the countdown. Paul and Wayne out of Perth, who are two amazing, been around longer than I have in the podcasting game. Wayne of the Countdown very famously loves one of the worst superhero movies that's ever been made, ever in the history of film. And that is The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Have you ever seen this piece of shit?
I've seen this piece of shit. My mom made me watch it like 20 times. Thank you. Oh,
it's unfathomably bad. Like The Invisible Man. One of the things that I always like look at it, the Invisible Man's makeup is so bad that like you can see the flesh tones of his skin at certain points, like on his face and like under his ears and stuff, when he's supposed to be painted so that way you can see him because he's really and when the scene when like Alan Quartermain, Sean Connery, the movie was so bad Sean Connery was like, nah, fuck this acting thing, I'm done, I'm out of here. You know, it's where they're on the ship and they're like shooting clay pigeons and he's with Tom Sawyer and it's one of the most obviously like green screen scenes in cinema. It's so unbelievably bad. And I put it on this list just because, like, thinking about disappointments, we talked before recording about like, I think that disappointment belies some level of expectation. Yeah. And I didn't really have any level of expectation for this film, but it was so bad that I was disappointed in it for its very existence. Like the fact that people have had to lay eyes on this, the fact that people have had to endure this, except for Wayne, obviously, it's saddening to me.
Well, like you were saying, I believe before recording, like you got to look at other lists. So, like, make sure you didn't miss anything. And I saw this movie come up, and I was just like, it's so bad, I don't even want to mention it. Like, I refuse to put it anywhere near my list.
Yeah. I think that's the only reason I put it on here was because, like, unquestionably, transcending superhero movies. We're talking about disappointing superhero movies tonight. This isn't even superhero. This is one of the most disappointing, one of the worst films I have ever seen in my life. It is bad on a level I can't quite describe, so I will leave it at that.
Honestly, the movie I related to the most is Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Don't watch it. Wayne loves it, again, too. He loves that movie, but don't watch it. Like, it is so bad.
Wayne loves it is all I needed to hear.
Well, I mean, rom-com Wayne, come on. You know, I got Paul on the show, I got you on the show. Now like I said, I need Wayne. I need Paul to just send me a clip of Wayne so I can just be like, I got Wayne on the show.
I wish I had my soundboard. I haven't been able to get it working for whatever reason. But I have clips. I think it was Livestream year 5. I got in touch with Wayne and I had him send me stuff to fuck with Paul when I had Paul on the air because Wayne wasn't on year 5, and it was great. And Wayne just did like a whole rendition of like More Than Words where he said Paul can suck my balls. It's one of the most fun things I've ever done. And when I sprung it on Paul, especially, Paul flipped his shit. Just like Paul loved it. It was great. It was really great.
That is awesome. My God.
They're amazing people though. Like they are really amazing people, even if their taste in movies is a little baffling sometimes. But we haven't even gotten through all of my list yet, so I can't judge anyone else too harshly.
I mean, people are probably going to get really pissed, especially listeners, when they hear my number 10, because my number 10 is Spider-Man Far From Home.
Well, I'm interested to hear why.
Okay, so we're talking about most disappointing superhero movies. And I'm going to say I was so hyped up for this. Avengers Endgame had just come out. This is like a couple months later, or yeah, just a couple months later in the cinemas, and everyone's hyped up about it. And it just fell flat. The story was meh. It was like the same thing he went through in Homecoming, except now Nick Fury is his like mentor or whatever. And the whole like it's been a few years since it came out. Like they erased that Nick Fury was even on the Earth. They tried to play the Dimensions card and get everyone hyped up about Dimensions through the trailers and the multiverse and all that stuff. And then you're like, oh, it's just another Tony Stark villain. And I was just like, come on, Marvel,
Yeah,
do better.
yeah.
Do better.
I feel you there. And I mean, well, we'll talk about it later because it's more stuff is going to come up on my list that's going to get like where I'm going to dig into Marvel a lot more. But I think the problem with post Endgame stuff is that post Endgame stuff, especially the immediate stuff, it had to address quote unquote the blip. Which the snap was already enough of a logistical nightmare in terms of plot holes, all the plot holes that it creates. The blip is 1,000 times worse. And then you have to like try to realize and rationalize like all these people suddenly being brought back into existence. And that's coupled with like this whole, like you get Jake Gyllenhaal, who's a masterclass unto himself. Great charismatic actor, like he's fantastic, but you get him in this role that turns out to be nothing but, you're exactly right, like how many MCU movies up to that point had just been, I'm a disgruntled Stark Enterprises employee gone bad, who broke bad and was like, oh, I'm gonna make a fucking weird suit and do crazy shit. And yeah, it's just, I mean, it's not on my list, and I'll say it's not on my list because I have been a very notorious MCU hater. Like, everybody now, it's 2023, everybody now is like, man, the MCU sucks. I've been saying the MCU sucks since, like, 2016. Like, I've hated the MCU for a long, like, even Phase 1. And Phase 2, like, I've really been critical of a lot of the MCU stuff, and I've been called crazy so many times. So it's weird to see the evolution of like everybody hates the MCU now. And I'm just like, welcome aboard, everyone. Just welcome. It's so good to have you.
I think one of the major things with the MCU was like the lore behind everything was also good behind it. Like people could keep up and there was lots of background story and lots of additional little facts that you could get, but they would follow it up with good material that addressed it. Like, this past phase, they didn't address anything. And, you built this connected universe already, and you're trying to restart and do another Phase 1 again when you can't really do that anymore. You already started where you are, so not addressing anything and just being like, oh, here's all of our new characters, it's rushed, and it doesn't feel like proper due diligence was done to the original characters.
Yeah, I'm anything Phase 4. The only thing I've seen that's Phase 4 is No Way Home Phase 4. I don't even know if it is, or is it still? I don't even know what phase anything is anymore because like I've skipped anything that's TV. I have not watched any Marvel TV whatsoever, and I have only watched Thor Ragnarok and Spider-Man No Way Home. In terms of MCU films in the last however long that is.
I mean, I enjoy some of the films in Phase 4. Like, everything after Avengers Endgame is Phase 4. So, like, some of them I really enjoy, and there's a couple on my list. I'm just going to say that. But let's pass it over to you for your number 9.
I mean, so I'm a DC guy. Okay, so Batman 89 is one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. Justin and I, once upon a time in Epic Film Guys, did a commentary on it. I love DC. Superman is my favorite superhero of all time. So I was really looking forward to seeing, finally, at long last, they announced and they were putting out a Green Lantern movie.
This is an honorable or dishonorable mention, should I say?
I mean, come on. Like, all I gotta CGI suits. Why the ever-loving fuck would you decide to CGI the suit? Why?
Literally.
Especially in 2005 tech, like this is like way early 2000 CGI, which was not good. And then you make Parallax, and mind you, I'm not like a comic book guy at all, so I don't have the comic book knowledge of it. But even still, anytime you make a villain a giant cloud, spoilers for other stuff coming on my list. Anytime you make a villain a giant cloud, it's like the most inept, like weak screenwriting ever. Like why can you not have like a physical threat? But I think this is symptomatic of like that kind of mid 2000s thing of where every villain had to be like this giant bombastic CGI monstrosity. Maybe, I don't know, but like I don't know, like a Green Lantern film should have been amazing, you know? I mean, it should have been really, really amazing, and we haven't had anything even noteworthy in the Green Lantern, anything Green Lantern since. I don't think we've had literally anything since.
I mean, they have like a new show, which I'm actually kind of excited about. James Gunn just recently announced it when he did his whole like, here's our slate or whatever.
Right,
But
yeah.
they're doing a Green Lantern show. But have you seen the HBO show True Detective?
I know of
Yeah,
it.
so it's a really gritty, hard knocks detective show.
Yeah.
But this Green Lantern show, they're gonna kind of go darker. They're gonna hit that TVMA rating, and they're gonna give us, a buddy cop or a True Detective-esque show that's super gritty with two of the Lanterns. So it could be really good, or
I mean, they're space cops,
exactly.
so I mean, it could be interesting, but I mean, I really like, and I mean, Ryren, I love him. Like, Deadpool is a step above in terms of superhero movies. This isn't like big, most amazing superhero, whatever. That's a different countdown, but like, Ryren here was just, I don't think he was necessarily like a lot of people were like he's poorly cast for who did he play? Was it Hal Jordan that he played? I can't even remember the Lantern that he played in this. But it's not even that he was poorly cast, but it's just like all the material was really flat. All the material was really, really dull and everything. And then, I mean, like I said, you make he fought a cloud.
Yeah, I rewatched it like a year ago, and it took me a solid week to get through. Like, I kept falling asleep.
Yeah.
Even in the middle of the day, I'd pass out and be like, all right, I'll watch it later. Go sit down to watch it and pass out. It was fucking awful.
Fuck, that'd take me straight to the mortician these days, probably.
Well, I do a monthly episode where I do a segment called I Hate This Movie, and I let my listeners pick out a movie that is really bad. Yeah.
Yo, you and I need to talk more because I hate a lot of movies.
Oh God, you're gonna make me watch. Okay, you know what? We'll save it for later. I'm sure it'll come up. But roll it into my number 9. It's my second MCU entry on this list, and it is most definitely not the last. But it's Thor: Love and Thunder.
Fuck.
One
of point blank, one of the worst experiences I've ever had in a cinema. Full stop. It is unbelievable how bad that movie is. It is so bad.
They tried to do Ragnarok again, and Ragnarok was like a one-off. Like somehow they made it funny,
The one thing I enjoyed about Love and Thunder was Natalie Portman was having a good time. And that's great because I love Natalie Portman. And anytime that Natalie Portman's having a good time, I'm okay. But holy shit, it was bad. It was like, why does Taika Waititi feel that he needs to punch in a joke? And this is Marvel 101. Punch in a joke every 30 seconds because we can't let material just flow from scene to scene without punching in a punchline at the end of it, like at the end. That's the MCU, like, in a nutshell. But no place I think worse than Love and Thunder. I was I've seen a lot of movies in the movie theater, and I've walked out of a lot of movie theaters frustrated, upset, even a little mad. I've walked out a few movies furious. This was one of them. I hated this movie.
I would we're talking about most disappointing. This could have been at the top of my list, but there's reasons that it's not. The biggest reason is I had one giggle in the movie, and that was the yelling goats. And eventually, they used it like 6 or 7 times, and I was like, okay, this is just dumb now. But
yeah. But that's the MCU in a nutshell. It's overplaying the same joke over and over. It's excess. It's let's keep throwing the same joke at the audience over and over until it's not funny anymore. You're right. The goats were funny if we would have seen them twice, maybe 3 times. But yeah, it literally went back to that goat well, especially in the first act. It went back to it like over and over again really quickly, and it's like, okay, we get it. They scream loud, like fuck.
Yeah, it was overdone, and I think that's a lot of the issues with the MCU. But at the same time, you go back and you look at the MCU movies that like actually hold and stand true. Yeah, there's a couple jokes and a couple punchlines like in there, but the rest of the movie is fairly serious. I'm talking like Winter Soldier, Avengers, like the ones that are actual true staples and good movies in and of themselves. If you take apart from, oh, this isn't a superhero movie. This is just a movie.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think we're gonna go over to you for number 8.
This is gonna be weird because people are gonna be like, what? So I talked about in Green Lantern about fighting a cloud. Well, my number 8 also has your protagonists fighting a cloud. It is Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
I fucking knew it.
Now, I will say, like, the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies, they're not great, okay, but they know what they are. They know what they are. They want to go for that cheesy B-movie tone, and I think they hit it pretty well. And then the problem with Rise of the Silver Surfer is you bring in Lawrence Fishburne, who is voicing like the super badass Silver Surfer, looks really cool for mid-2000s CGI, whatever. But then again, like you have, again, the bad guy is supposed to be Galactus, who is a giant like planet-eating robot or whatever he is. It's a cloud. Yeah. It's a thunderstorm in space that they have to, fucking hell. Like, it was just, it's such a huge letdown. I mean, like, we weren't expecting greatness, Tim Story. We weren't expecting you to make the next, like, Casablanca or Citizen Kane or anything. But fuck, you could have given us something. I'm
glad you mentioned Casablanca. One of my all-time favorites.
It's just like like I said, the original, like Tim Story's original movie, and I had like talking about dishonorable mentions. You talked about them before. I had Fan Four Stick on it at one point, but I don't think I was ever really like super anticipating that movie. So I don't think I was ever really disappointed by it. I think I just kind of sat and audio audience, you're gonna miss this, but I just kind of sat there like with this like slack jawed, like open mouth, like gaze at the screen, like. Am I really watching this? Is this really a movie that happened? Like shock and disappointment. But yeah, like I said, like you had a chance to develop these characters further and do something a little better with them, and then you made them fight a fucking cloud. It's not threatening. Like if you have an intangible villain that's not even like a presence that they can see and like fight against, it's not entertaining or engaging in any way.
I mean, you know, you go like the mid-2000s. The CGI was not good for it. Like the Silver Surfer looks great, but that's all they focus everything on that, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, Galactus at the end."
Fuck, we ran out of money. Make him a cloud.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened with Fan Four Stick. Like they were just like, "Fuck, we ran out of money." Josh Trank blew it all on blow.
I mean, that movie had like $150 million budget, and like $80 million of it, Josh Trank snorted up his nose.
I swear to God.
So, I mean, that was disappointing in a different way of like, how could this ever even get released into a cinema as a major motion picture? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like Rise of the original Fantastic Four, like Tim Story's original film. It's not like this landmark of cinema, but it strives to be cheesy, and especially you think about the era it was made too. Like it wanted to be a cheesy, silly, fun movie, and it was. It was.
I mean, I grew up on watching those movies, and like even when I was younger, I knew that Spider-Man 2 is good, and the sequels are shit. And I was like, oh, Spider-Man 2, good. X-Men 2, good. Oh, this is not a good second movie.
No, it was, it bad. And like, I mean, like Doctor Doom in the Tim Story movies, like you get the dude from Nip Tuck, Julian McMahon, I think is the actor's name. Good, great. He's a great actor. Like I love him. No.
If they were to do Doctor Doom, and I know they can't do this now, but I would have loved to see Michael Fassbender play Doctor Doom.
I say, let him do it.
Yeah.
Like, let him do it. The only, you got to pull the wool over the general audience's eyes. That can be tough. That can be tough in certain circumstances and everything like that, because he was such a good Magneto in the like X-Men prequel saga that it's hard to even picture him as anything else.
Yeah, but. And I mean, like you said, you got to pull the wool over the sheep's eyes. You know, they can't see what's going on, and you have to in order to do that, you have to really dumb it down for general audiences. I mean, it's the fact of the matter. Like, are you just gonna be like multiverse? Like, why do you think they made Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania all about the multiverse?
I didn't even. And here's the thing. Like, I loved Ant-Man and the Wasp. I really loved it. Like, a lot of people weren't hot on it, but I really loved it because I really loved the father-daughter relationship between Scott and his daughter. But I'm so checked out of the whole thing now. Like, I didn't even see Quantumania. And then I saw like the pictures of MODOK that were floating around online, and I was like, you've got to be shitting me. That is CGI in a 2023 major motion picture. Like, I'm not a comic book person. I don't read comic books, so I don't know how MODOK comes off as like a comic book character, but as a character in a live action motion picture, it looks so fucking stupid.
Okay. I'm going to say two things about MODOK, but first, can I spoil a small part of the film?
Oh, I've listened to other people's reviews of it. I don't care. I'm never going to watch it.
No. I'm not defending it. I personally enjoyed it because I like seeing Scott Lang and his daughter. I thought that was cool. Him and Cassie. But the whole thing with MODOK is like he's the villain from the first movie who got like shrunk down.
He was already bad in the first Ant-Man.
Exactly. Like the first Ant-Man was only somewhat good because Hank Pym was kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
But
fuck me. That was in that weird part of the MCU where everything was just Iron Man, but just like with different powers. Mm-hmm. Like, that movie was literally Iron Man with shrinking powers. Like, it was, oh, God.
Yeah, I would have loved to see what Edgar Wright would have done with it, because Edgar Wright is my favorite director, like, of all time.
Dude.
My favorite, I said this on the episode with Paul, my favorite zombie movie is Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead's a masterpiece, man. So good. Like, imagine what an Ant-Man movie with Edgar Wright would have been. Like, seriously.
He would have thrown Simon Pegg in there, and I would have cried. I would have been so happy. But moving on, I did not realize how MCU heavy it is until like I'm actually reading my list. And so I have another MCU title in here: Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Spoiler alert, my number 7.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So it's coming right on the heels of yours on mine.
Yeah. So I'll let you go first. What do you have to say about Age of Ultron?
It's a trailer for phase 3 of the MCU. That's all it is. It's a trailer for the next phase of the MCU. Nothing important happens in it. It is literally the same exact script from the first Avengers movie. They basically do the same exact thing where we've got to make Hulk go on a rampage in order to do whatever. It's the same exact movie as the first Avengers, and it has all these tacked on elements of, well, there's bigger stakes to come, like, oh, Tony and Steve aren't getting along. Ooh, something might happen there. Ooh, there's these Infinity Stones. What's gonna happen? All of it feels so meaningless and weightless. And when you have James Spader, one of the greatest voices of any generation in terms of acting, voicing Ultron really, really well. None of the fault of that movie falls at James Spader's feet at all. He's great, but it feels like a pause, like a placeholder, like a just you wait, we've got better stuff coming kind of movie. Like it feels meaningless because ultimately it is.
I mean, yeah, like there has been zero Ultron at all except for like a stupid animated What If episode, which I hated What If, and everyone will shame me for that, but What If was shitty. Come at me, I don't care. But like Avengers: Age of Ultron, like you said, yeah, it's just a filler. It's like, oh, we get these two characters, and like you only get to see them a little bit. You have to tune in for more, And like you said, it's the same thing as the first Avengers movie. And I'm gonna say this, and people will probably hate me because Joss Whedon's early years are pretty good, but Joss Whedon is a terrible director. He got lucky with the first Avengers movie because nothing had been done like that before, and he had Kevin fucking Feige, who was like still fresh and still like being able to be like, all right, no, we need to move these things around, and we need to do this in a way that general audiences will like. And yeah, no, that was Kevin Feige's movie, not Joss Whedon's.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the MCU was small enough at the time to really, it was lightning in a bottle when it came out. I still love the first Avengers movie. It's still a great movie. It's still a great watch. It's still a really entertaining watch. And then you watch Age of Ultron and it feels really similar because they didn't really have any other ideas they didn't have anywhere else. They didn't have anything else to do with it. It literally, they couldn't really say anything else about it. So yeah, that's why Age of Ultron makes my number 7. Cause, it literally, they have like that whole sequence where Thor has like this really wild dream in a pool about these Infinity Stones. Like it's literally scenes wholesale that have nothing to do with the plot of that movie that are literally just setting up future stuff in the MCU. Like, I don't know, this might be spoilers for your list or not. It's not on mine, but like, think about Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 was the same thing. It was a trailer for phase 2 of the MCU. It wasn't even like its own movie. It was all about, but there's more stuff coming. Like, fuck you. Tell one story in this movie. Make it tie together in this one movie. I don't care about what's to come. If it doesn't all, like, make it all make sense. I don't need you to, like, do a 2-hour fucking teaser for it.
Post-credit scenes, like, they nail it in some movies. Like, you look at the very first Iron Man. That movie wraps together, ties together. They make their Easter eggs. They make their references. And it is its own film. Yeah, of course, they retconned that and destroyed it with so many Tony Stark villains, like I said. But, it was its own film. And that post-credit scene just got everyone excited and happy for what was to come because they didn't know exactly what was coming,
But they knew it wasn't Ultron because they were like, in Ultron's own movie, he disappeared. Like it was, I forget at what point he disappeared from the screen for like a lengthy portion of time. Like he's your main villain and he just straight up vanished from the whole runtime of the film it was a lot. I haven't watched it since I watched it in theaters when it came out. I'll never watch it again. I don't care enough about it to care.
I'm pretty sure he had less than 10 minutes of screen time, and that movie's like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure he disappears for literally like an hour in the middle of the movie. I'm probably wrong about that. Don't come at me with times or anything, but yeah, I'm pretty sure like he just wholesale disappears because the MCU, and this was always my criticism of the MCU, like regardless, they don't care about their villains. They really don't care about developing them whatsoever. All they care about is their heroes. But I firmly believe you can't have a good hero unless you have a good villain. That's why somebody like Thor it works so well because of Tom Hiddleston's Loki, because that character is so well realized. But you can't you can't have that if you have your main villain disappearing for a really large portion of the runtime of the film. Like, you can't have that.
like what you're saying. Like, Marvel doesn't focus on their villains. Like, you look at Hela, you look at whatever the Dark Elf's name was. I mean, you had Loki in the first one, but Loki wasn't even fleshed out in that one. Like, it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Then you have Gore, which they tried to flesh him out, and they did a really, really bad job with it. Especially when you have Christian fucking Bale in the role. Come on, give him more time.
And he tried too. Christian Bale really tried in that movie. Like, you could tell he was really like swinging for it, but yeah, he was in a different movie than Taika Waititi was directing. I'll tell you that. Like, my exact review of that movie was Taika Waititi is not as funny as he thinks he is. That was literally my review of that movie coming out of the theater.
It's sad because Taika Waititi has been handed the keys to the upcoming Star Wars movies. So, I'm assuming you're a Star Wars fan. For the listeners, I'm just watching Nick cry.
Not anymore. After Rise of Skywalker, no. Like, I used to be someone that slavishly like adored Star Wars, loved Star Wars so much. Rise of Skywalker, like, no. I straight up was just like this. 2 minutes into the movie, J.J. Abrams was just like, Palpatine's still alive, everybody! Woo! Fuck you. Yeah. Fuck everything about this.
I went to see that in the theater. I fell asleep within the first hour of the film. I've never watched it since.
You were the smart one. Literally 2 minutes in, they're like, ooh, Palpatine's alive. Like, The Last Jedi, divisive movie though it is, completely sets up Kylo Ren to be like this super unhinged leader of the First Order, whatever the hell it is. And then like all of a sudden Palpatine's alive and he's got a fleet bigger than any fleet that's ever been assembled before that's just been hiding for fuck off. God, I'm getting bad now. We're not even talking about Star Wars.
I should not have mentioned that. Shit. I'm so sorry.
I've literally never watched anything. The only other thing I've watched Star Wars was I did check out Obi-Wan because I love Ewan McGregor. I love Ewan McGregor as the character. I love Hayden Christensen as Anakin. And I was really excited to see. And like, I mean, that show has its faults and everything, but dude, like that in like episode 6, like that showdown when like they're fighting and shit, and it like he cuts off his helmet and he's like, I'm not your failure, Obi-Wan. Like all that shit. Like, dude, that's so good. That's so good. Like, you've got so much good stuff you can mine in that universe. And no, let's bring Palpatine back to.
See, I watched the first season of Mandalorian. I watched the Book of Boba Fett, and I watched Obi-Wan. I have not continued with Mandalorian. I have not watched any of the other spin-offs that they've done. Obi-Wan is still my favorite. Like, I don't care. Obi-Wan was great. Yes, like you said, it has its faults. But that movie, like, that's what I wanted to see. This is a story we wanted. Not the Mandalorian. Yeah, maybe Boba Fett, but that was so shit.
See, I hate Boba Fett anyway, like as a character conceptually, so I didn't care about that. And by extension, because the Mandalorian is a Mandalorian, I've never watched any of it. I just don't care. I literally just, and a lot of people are like, no, but it's so, but I don't care. I really don't care. But I had to watch Obi-Wan because it was McGregor. I love McGregor and Christensen as those two characters. I've long been a defender of the prequels. They're soap operas. They've always been meant to be soap operas, cheesy acting and dialogue and all of it together. They've always been meant to be that. You just, like, that's what the original Star Wars movie is. The dialogue is shit. But you know, like watching Obi-Wan, like that emotional culmination of those two characters, like in that battle. and everything. Like, I mean, it's good. It's good. Like, take the rest of Obi-Wan if you want to and, like, say what you will about it. I really don't care. But, like, that scene between and like, the way that they did the voice modulation, like, changing between Anakin and Vader, like, the two voices, like, that's genius, and it's so good. It works so well. So good. So good. If I don't care about anything else, like, that alone is like, shit, like the emotional weight of that alone, because, like, say what you will about the prequels, but those two characters fucking loved each other. Like, they were brothers, man.
It was more like a father-son relationship, and like it was like something that's heartfelt. Like, you got to see them grow with each other. Say what you will about the prequels. I'm not a huge fan of the first one, but 2 and 3, who gives a shit about the CGI in 2? You know, I'm willing to look past that because
it's early 2000s CGI. You have to just wholesale walk past it. Just walk right past it.
Like, the story is good. And also, let's just say, fucking killer soundtracks for all those movies.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I don't know what the hell. And this is a really long tangent that we got off onto on Star Wars and stuff. But yeah, I legitimately, it's funny too, because we did in year 3 a live stream for The Cure. I'm going through the live stream project. That's why this is fresh in my memory, but we did Star Wars trivia, and it was 2019. And that was like the trailer for Rise of Skywalker must have just come out, and it had Palpatine's voice in it. And I said during the Star Wars trivia segment in May of 2019, I was like, if Palpatine's in this movie, if they bring Palpatine back to life somehow, I'm going to straight up walk out of the theater. And I really wish that I had listened to May 2019 Nick, because I should have just walked out of the theater in like the first 2 minutes when they were like, oh, there's a whole bunch of Snokes and a tank over there, and I was a clone, and I brought them all back to life, and I'm seriously here the whole time. Fucking worst writing I ever, unbelievably bad, unfathomably stupid. Fuck.
I mean, every single other Star Wars movie, and I include Solo in this, had better writing than that. Like I said, I fell asleep.
And Solo had the scene where they were like, Han, oh, you're by yourself. Solo. It had that scene in it, and you're right, that was a better written movie.
But yeah, we did get off on a really long tangent on that one.
I want to know who the fuck, in what writer's room, where they sat down and they were like, maybe they called him Han Solo because he was by himself once. What?
Jesus. I wish we had preserved George Lucas's brain so we could still talk to him about it.
And the worst part about it is I loathe and despise. We really got to go back to this list. I loathe and despise, because of that whole Jurassic World franchise. I hate Colin Trevorrow, one of the biggest hacks that's ever existed. But if you've ever read his treatment, his ideas for Star Wars Episode 9 before they went back to J.J. Abrams, I'm like, Colin Trevorrow could have saved us all. And I hate Colin Trevorrow, and it hurts me to say that.
Yes. You're not.
I love nerdy movie shit. You know this, like,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I think I've gotten it just a little bit from listening to you for like almost 10 years now.
That's fucking scary.
But yeah, like your number 7 was Age of Ultron, right?
Yeah. So I think we're back to you for your number 7.
So this is my first entry that is not in the MCU, and it's X-Men Apocalypse. To channel my good friend, my brother Paul, down in Perth. And to channel Wayne from over there, are you going down a fucking hallway? But yeah, so I wanted. Okay, I like X-Men First Class a lot. I thought it was
great movie,
absolutely excellent. Great way to rebound from that piece of shit called X-Men Origins Wolverine. Okay, great way to rebound. But
didn't make my list because The Last Stand was already so bad that who was looking forward to X-Men Origins? But that's beside the point.
I was 7 or 8, so I was.
Jesus.
But yeah, I actually went and saw X-Men Origins the night it came out, and yeah, I did not have a good time. But yeah, no, I have X-Men Apocalypse on here because I really liked X-Men First Class. Days of Future Past, it's not the greatest X-Men movie, but I still enjoyed it. I had a good time with it, and I love to see that they actually played out that storyline. I'm a comic book nerd, okay, Nick?
Okay. Yeah, okay. Enough said.
But then we get to Apocalypse, and I was just like, Jesus fuck, you ruined so many good actors. Michael Fassbender, shit in that movie. Oscar Isaac, shit in that movie. James McAvoy, shit in that movie. Jennifer Lawrence, for her little bit in there, shit in that movie. They ruined, what's his face? He just played Jeffrey Dahmer recently, and he plays Quicksilver.
Oh, the kid that played Quicksilver. Yeah.
He was shit in that movie. And we know that he can act very well. But it was just...
That's because their only idea with Quicksilver was to just ape the same scene that they did in Days of Future Past.
And it was so much...
They had literally no other ideas. They were like, well, what if we just have him do another scene where he's running slow again? Or he's running fast and it's really slow around him again. It's like, but didn't we already do that? And yeah, but people liked it. It'll be fine.
That's what made...
That was literally their only idea for Quicksilver. Evan Peters, I think. Evan Peters is his name, yeah.
But that scene made Days of Future Past more bearable. You know, like, Days of Future Past isn't, like, top tier, but it made it more bearable because they brought in cinematic elements that we really hadn't experienced in the theater yet. So I really, really, really liked it. But then we get to Apocalypse. Shit writing, shit directing, CGI was shit. Villain was shit. Do you want me to continue to go on? Even the cinematics were shit. Like, they couldn't figure out a good camera angle.
And how do you make... So, I'm an old man, as we've touched on a few times here. I grew up in the 90s watching the X-Men cartoon on Fox Kids. Like, Apocalypse has always been one of my favorite, like... cartoon, like comic booky type villains and stuff like that. And you get Oscar Isaac, who's a great actor, fantastic actor. How they shit the bed so bad with A, the fact that they've got all the source material and everything for Apocalypse, and B, Oscar Isaac. I don't understand how you make Apocalypse this inept of a villain. And then I'm going to disagree with you on one thing. I think Days of Future Past is one of the best comic book movies ever made. It is utterly phenomenal. The way they take and they marry together the two, I mean, the Bryan Singer of it all, leave that aside for a moment, but they marry together the old and new X-Men cast and everything like that. I really, really think that movie, and like the scene of Magneto, Michael Fassbender's Magneto at the stadium at the end of that movie, like the final act of that movie, like really explaining, like really, it's like Magneto's fucking mantra. It's like why Magneto's a villain, and he goes about it by the means in which Magneto does, but why you can't hate him for it, because it's like, fuck, he's right though. Like, he's right though. Like, when you listen to him, like, it's so great. I love Days of Future Past, so this is much higher on my list, because I was bitterly disappointed by X-Men Apocalypse. It is a disaster across the board. One of the biggest pieces of shit ever. Like, one of the worst comic book movies ever made. Like, a lot of people give Dark Phoenix a lot of flack. I thought it was fine, but I just
fell asleep in the theater for.
I had less than no expectations going into Dark Phoenix because it was coming off the heels of this piece of shit, which was god awful, terrible bad. Yeah, you say it full stop, like you said, Oscar Isaac. How do you take an actor that's that talented and give him a role that's this rich with this much history? Like, Apocalypse it transcends the X-Men. He is like an Avengers level type, like MCU, like Marvel as a whole, like in the comic books and all that stuff, like spanning villain. Like, he's a powerful, like twisted, crazy psycho fuck. How you fuck him up this bad? I don't even, I baffled baffled by how bad this movie was. And especially when you take, what did they do with Magneto in this one? Like they had him living in a fucking weird village in the middle of nowhere and shit or something.
Family gets killed or something. It is so fucking stupid. And then he's the only, oh my god, he's one of the 4 horsemen of apocalypse, and I'm just like, what the shit? Like, did you really just take a steaming pile of dog shit and then use it to write this
That is being
movie?
kind to dog shit, sir. I'm sorry, but that's, dog shit doesn't deserve that. You take that back.
I mean, okay, you have a point there.
That's how bad X-Men Apocalypse really is. Yeah, it's higher on my list. It's coming up on my list.
Gotcha. Well, let's spin it over to your number 6.
All right, well, we're going to get into some hot takes here, ladies and gents. Cracks knuckles. Aha. My number 6 is Thor Ragnarok.
I am ending this podcast.
I knew it. I knew it would happen eventually. So here's the thing about Thor Ragnarok. It tries too hard. It tries too hard to be funny. I love the first Thor movie. I'm a Shakespeare dude, so I love Kenneth Branagh. I love that whole aesthetic of the first Thor movie. A lot of people hate the first Thor movie or think it's shit or whatever. I love it. Second Thor movie, The Dark World. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great, admittedly. Okay. I was really looking forward to Ragnarok. I was really, really excited. You got Jeff Goldblum in there. You're bringing the Hulk in. You're bringing Tessa Thompson in, who is a goddess. Amazing. And I'm just like, okay, Taika Waititi. I have no idea who he is. I've never seen literally anything he's ever done. And apparently, it's funny, again, going through the live stream project that I'm going through now. I really was really high on Korg at the time. And but I think that Ragnarok's biggest problem, for as much as it does right, Cate Blanchett is hella, come on. Amazing casting choice, even if they don't give her enough to do, because they don't. But that notwithstanding, why? It's symptomatic of the MCU, where it feels like it has to punch a joke in too often for my taste. It tries to just punch in too many jokes, too much humor, it tries to break dramatic tension too much when sometimes you can just let that dramatic tension ride. You don't have to have Thor have a quippy one-liner every 6 seconds. I know Chris Hemsworth is one of the sexiest, most charming men on the planet. I get it. I'd fuck him too, but we don't have to write a quippy one-liner for him every 3 seconds. We can just let a scene end without. That was my problem with it. I wasn't high on it when it came out. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. Okay. It's not a bad movie, but it really disappointed me because I feel like it really tries too hard to be funny. And I don't think it needs to be, because especially in that, you've got the destruction of Asgard. You've got the whole destruction of Asgard and everything. Like, that's heavy dramatic shit. Like, why are we punching so many jokes into this? You know, like, that's one of the failings of the MCU as a whole, in my opinion, is it just tries to punch in too much humor. And I've never liked that about the MCU. So yeah, that Ragnarok. You're welcome. He hung up, folks. He hung up on me a long time ago. You're not even hearing this right now. I'm off of the ether just talking to myself.
I mean, okay, I see some of your points, but I'm just going to have to heavily disagree with you. Thor Ragnarok is easily top 5 in my, MCU rankings. It might even be top 10 all-time superhero movies, maybe.
Wow.
But it would barely make that 10 spot. I got some heaters up there. But it just breaks my heart to hear it that high on your list.
Yeah. I passed it. When we first reviewed it on Epic Film, guys, I passed it, but with the lowest passing grade. Like, I think I gave it a 6 out of 10. Everything else about the movie works for me, except for, I feel like one of the biggest failings of the MCU as a whole, like, going back through its entire history, exceed it, like exempting some types of films like Iron Man. You expect Tony Stark to have a quip. You expect him to have that quippy one-liner. You don't need that in every property in every movie. And I think that was my issue with Ragnarok, is it just, it especially dealing with such heavy dramatic material. Let it ride, man. Just let it ride. You know, you don't need to punch in humor all the time. And I think that, you know, we've both talked even before on this episode about Thor: Love and Thunder, which is really bad. Really, really bad. And that's like Thor now in the MCU has become a parody of himself.
Yeah.
Like he's not even like, he's like, you want to think of Thor as like this badass who like can kick ass and do all this stuff, but like they've made him like, you think about like Chris Hemsworth's character in Ghostbusters, like the Ghostbusters 2016 that they did with the all female cast.
God awful piece
like
of shit
and
does it exist?
See, and here's the thing, like when we reviewed that movie on EFG, didn't hate it, fine with it, except for the fact that like A, it didn't tie into the existing franchise, which it should have, and B, the third act was fuck. What was that CGI drivel shit? Garbage, terrible. But like you have Chris Hemsworth's character in that movie was just, he was a ditzy dumb fuck. That's what they made Thor in Thor: Love and Thunder. He's the same character. He's just dumb. He just doesn't get or know or understand things or social contracts with people or literally anything. He's fucking dumb.
See, when I walked out of Thor: Love and Thunder, I was just thinking to myself, damn, I wish they would have killed him off.
Right?
Yeah, like he's going up against the
like before that movie started, so you didn't have to watch it?
They should have let Thanos like rip his head off or something, because I mean it would have been a suiting end to him. Like he goes down his dark path through the 5 years or whatever because he chopped off Thanos' head, and you know he turned into a drunken old fat dude. Why bring him back and try to continue on with that other than a cash grab? And that's what I thought Thor: Love and Thunder was, and that's like they repeatedly push jokes that weren't funny.
Yeah, and it was like, and this turned into more of a criticism of Thor: Love and Thunder than of Ragnarok. But like, I thought Korg was used exactly the right amount in Ragnarok. Yeah. Way excessive in Love and Thunder. Like, you don't need to punch in yourself, and it's Taika Waititi writing the script and directing the movie. It's you literally punching in a joke for yourself every 30 seconds. It's like you had some ribs removed so you could lean over and blow yourself every 30 seconds. Fuck me, Thor: Love and Thunder is bad. Don't ever watch it if you've never. Don't, please. Unless you're female, and then you get, I guess, to see the scene of Zeus blowing all of Thor's clothes off, and you get to see Chris Hemsworth standing there in the PG-13 nude for a few moments. I guess that's probably worth it to some people. He is a handsome man. I'm pretty sure folks.
My mom was like, "Yep, sign me up!" Like as soon as she heard about that.
See,
you know. But moving on, because we still have half of a list to get to.
Fuck, man. You know what? It's good. It's good. I love having conversations about movies, and I'm loving this. So again, I can't thank you for having me. Like literally, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. It's one of my I like to expound and like have dialogue about things, like open dialogue where we can share our opinions in a safe space. And you know, I love all the input that you've been giving me. Like one of my podcasts, we rabbit hole, and I feel like sometimes that's the best way to go about it.
Rabbit holes are great, but we're going to finish the top 5 in the exact opposite fashion. We're literally going to just very monotone, just read off the list. Okay, that's your pick. On to my number.
Well, I mean, we probably have crossovers coming up here soon. Although I know,
I would bet. Well, we already know one of mine. We're just going to wipe right off the list because we've already talked about it. So.
Yeah. You said this one isn't on your list, and honestly, the first time I went and saw it, I actually really loved it. Call me a dumb teenager, because I have the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I mean, did it? I think. And here's the extra catharsis to this. When you add in the emotional payoff of Spider-Man No Way Home, Garfield's performance in that movie and the way that they carried on the emotional arc of the first two Amazing Spider-Man movies in Spider-Man No Way Home, Garfield's like a masterclass in that movie. Like, he's still so broken by what happens to, oh my God, like, it's so good. It's so good in that way. Garfield's Spider-Man, great. Really great.
I'm going to say it right now. I do not hate this movie. It lands probably, like you say, Thor Ragnarok, a 6 out of 10. You know, I thoroughly enjoy this movie, and after seeing No Way Home, I actually went back and I rewatched it, and I still enjoyed it. But there is still the fact that they absolutely destroyed, even though they eventually fixed Electro. They destroyed Electro in that movie. And then, Jesus fucking Christ, fuck me sideways, I hated that Green Goblin. You kill off Norman Osborn, the biggest Spider-Man villain, if not the second to Doc Ock.
And you have Chris Cooper playing him. You have Chris Cooper playing Norman Osborn, which, yeah, weird pull to not put him in some Goblin makeup or something like that.
He would have been perfect for it. And literally, he gets 30 seconds of screen time. Oh, Harry, I'm so disappointed. Fuck off.
Yeah, and that's the problem with the Amazing Spider-Man movies is they tried to do too much. It was clearly in that era of fuck. We gotta try to do something to keep up with this MCU thing that's going on here. This whole MCU train's rolling. We got to do something. So they're constantly throwing in like, oh my God, we got to throw in references to other stuff. We've got to like they were trying to build to the Sinister Six in that whole Amazing Spider-Man series of movies and stuff, which never panned out, of course, but. Yeah, it does more wrong by its villains and by like its beats than it ever did right. And I think the only good things you can really take away from it at this stage is Andrew Garfield and Emma Watson. Like, not Emma Watson.
Shit. I can't even remember her name.
Fuck.
It is Emma. She was in La La Land.
Emma Stone.
Yeah, Emma Stone.
Yeah, Emma Stone. Like, they're, I mean, of course they were dating at the time. Like, they had fantastic chemistry and everything like that. They were really, really great. And, you know, it is heartbreaking to see them finally replay like that moment where, you know, he whips down the web and catches her, but like the spring back of the web snaps her neck. Like, that's heartbreaking. Like, that's soul crushing. And like I said, the emotional payoff that's why I love No Way Home so much. Like, No Way Home is a movie that has its own issues, but fuck me, like, Justin at Epic Film Guys was much more the person whose nostalgia boner would very easily get hard and get rubbed. But like, for me, watching No Way Home, like when they paid that off, like when he catches MJ, and everything like that, and he's like so emotionally overcome, like, because he could still try to save this version of Peter where he failed. Like, dude, like that is like No Way Home is some genius level shit. Like even though I lambasted the writing in it because you do not need to write every 5 minutes to get to the end point of the meme that now exists. Like, you know, I'm something of a scientist myself, or the power of the sun and the power. We get that that's the movie. You don't need to reference it. Shut up.
I'm going to give a little story about No Way Home. So, No Way Home, I've seen that movie in theaters more than I've seen any other movie. I went and saw it like 6 times in theaters.
Nice.
So, my little cousin, she's like a couple years younger than me. She hadn't seen most of the Spider-Man movies. And I'm like, before we go see this, you're watching The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So I was like, here's my account, sign in, watch it. She watched it. And in that moment, where Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, catches MJ, I shit you not, she started crying.
Yeah. Dude, it's Garfield's performance. Like, there are some times in comic book movies where you get performances in comic book movies that transcend the genre and are so good that you wonder what the hell they're doing in a comic book movie because you don't really expect them. But that's what Garfield brings to everything. He's that kind of actor. So, like, I love, for all the failings that No Way Home had in its script writing and all the fan servicey, like, we're spitting on your boner and really rubbing it because we really want you to get that. You remember this movie? You remember this movie? Like, we get it. But like, they not only did that stuff, but they decided to carry on emotional payoff from those movies as well. And like I said, they could have left that. They could have cut that completely. They never had to focus on that at all. But the fact that they even dedicated like a minute of screen time to Garfield getting that emotional payoff of how distraught, how emotionally like wrecked he still is by what happened with Gwen and everything. That's good. That's so good. That's so good. I wish all fucking superhero movie writing was that smart and that insightful and that emotional and tapped into not just the, like, let me spit on your nerd boner and rub it for a few minutes kind of thing, but like really taps into like your emotional level of like, imagine it, put yourself in that situation of where, you know, you through this tragic ordeal accidentally kill the woman you love trying to save her, and you get this chance to save, essentially, for all intents and purposes, I'm holding up air quotes, audio audiences, you get to save yourself from the same fate.
Yeah.
Like, that is so good. So good. Such emotional character writing. That's what smart superhero movie writing needs to be.
That's what Black Panther, the first one, excelled at. The second one, I'm not a huge fan of. But the first Black Panther, they excelled at, hey, put yourself in these people's shoes. And not just your superhero, but the people surrounding your superhero and the villain. And it goes...
Yeah. How good's Michael B. Jordan in that movie? Man.
I love it.
God. Killmonger's like top tier, man.
He was top tier. Honestly, he's... Besides Loki and maybe Thanos, but they kind of ruined Thanos in Endgame, in my opinion. He may be one of the best MCU villains we've had. But
yeah, I'd agree.
So let's move on. Like I said, we still got half a list, and we're just at that 5 mark. So what's your number 5?
Well, we were just talking about Spider-Man, so it's really, really funny that my number 5 is Spider-Man 3. So this is one of those movies that I'm pretty sure if anybody was making this list, this movie was probably on it. Spider-Man 2 is full stop one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. Still to this day, it still holds up. That train fight, like Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, is so incredible, like beyond words.
First
good.
Of all, I have
okay,
to correct
and
you.
then
you said one of the best. No. That is the best superhero movie that has ever been made.
I won't argue. It's up there for me. It's up there. It's top 5 for me all time for sure. It hits every single beat absolutely perfectly. So of course expectations were ridiculously high. And then we all know the behind the scenes drama that happened by now with Avi Arad wanting Venom's the most popular Spider-Man villain. We got to shove him in there. And Sam Raimi's like, but I don't like Venom. I don't want Venom in this. And they shove him in there anyway. Imagine, if you will, take a moment, just cut the end of the movie with Eddie Brock turning into Venom. And you'd have to fit a final fight with Sandman in the movie somewhere, obviously. But like, imagine if that whole movie was just Spider-Man against Sandman. Obviously, I hate the Uncle Ben retcon. It was shit writing. It was terrible. It was stupid. But imagine you take a character like Sandman who has that tragic villain kind of thing that they were trying to, that was big back then anyway. But like, all he wanted to do was just help his daughter and save his daughter and everything like that. That's really great. That's really noble. But you have Spider-Man who can't beat him normally, finds this black suit, takes this black suit, then becomes this really aggressive dude, beats the shit out of Sandman, realizes the danger that he's become to people, rips the black suit off, and then Eddie Brock, who he's fucked over the whole movie and been a prick to, finds the suit at the end of the movie, takes it, and then bam, that's the end of the movie.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you've heard about the original plans for Spider-Man 3, because they actually had Spider-Man 3 and 4 under contract with Sam Raimi. So, yeah. I'm sure, you're a fan of The Evil Dead, right?
I've seen The Evil Dead 2. Paul, actually, from the Countdown, had me watch it once, and I loved it. It's the only one of them I've seen, but it's really good.
Yeah. Army of Darkness, not as good, still masterpiece. Sam Raimi at his finest. But
Yeah.
you know how Bruce Campbell made an appearance in all three of them, right? As some different
Yep.
dude. Apparently, what was going to happen was Sandman and Venom were not going to be the antagonists of the third movie, and Vulture was going to be the antagonist. But it was all going to lead up into the fourth movie where he has to fight Mysterio, who is played by Bruce Campbell.
That would have been great.
And they actually had the contract with Bruce Campbell written up, already ready to go.
God, that would have been really, really good. But I mean, like you think about Sandman alone, like Thomas Hayden Church, of course, he was big back in this day and age, like coming off of Sideways and things like that. He's great. I love Thomas Hayden Church so much. I love Sandman. Sandman is such a great villain, and all the Sandman, Spider-Man stuff works in the movie. It's just that Venom as a character, like Black Suit Spider-Man, yes. Venom, no. Nothing with Venom should have been in that movie. That should have been pulled out and reserved for its own movie. The fact that you have this very quick rush job to slap Venom in the third act of the movie, and say what you will about Topher Grace, but they were going for more of the ultimate Spider-Man version of Eddie Brock, which to my understanding is relatively close to what it was or whatever. I don't really care about that, but I thought Topher Grace was fine enough, but like, give him, like, it should have been its own thing. It should have been its completely own thing instead of trying to wrap it all up in this big, and then you have, of course, you have the payoff between Harry and Peter after 3 movies and, Spider-Man 2 of, Spider-Man killed my father and like all that different stuff like that. You have Harry becoming the new Green Goblin, and then like that whole,
I forgot about
the butler, remember the butler coming in and being like, no, but Spider-Man really saved your father, Harry. Like in the 11th hour, like all of a sudden, like randomly just decides at this pivotal moment of this movie to tell Harry, like, oh yeah, no, Spider-Man's not a bad dude. He saved your dad. It's all cool. Like, fuck off. You didn't tell him this at any other time in the whole hit. Get the hell out of here. Like,
it was cheesy bullshit writing so that they could have
really bad.
Yeah, we have Hobgoblin in it. We have Venom in it. We have Sandman in it. Fuck off.
Yep. Not good. Not good, Bob.
Oy. All right. I do want to say one more. Oh, shit. Now I forgot. I fucking hate ADHD.
I didn't do it. It's not my fault.
Oh, actually, I remember now. So we've discussed all the Spider-Man, all 3 of them. There's actually been a leak going around that in not the next Avengers movie, but the Avengers movie afterwards, which apparently they're supposed to break the multiverse in this upcoming one or whatever.
Fuck, what'll that be, like Avengers 12 now? I'm so far out of, I have no idea what's happening in Marvel anymore.
There's actually a cool leak going around where the Avengers team will be a multiversal Avengers team, and it'll be comprised of all 3 Spider-Man, Deadpool, Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, and Loki, and Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. That will be the Avengers team.
I don't buy it.
I don't buy it.
I don't buy it because I don't like, one of my biggest criticisms of the MCU was always like how much they had to include Downey in it, to the point where Spider-Man Homecoming is basically Iron Man Homecoming. Like the spider suit is basically an Iron Man suit with webs in it. Like, it's so frustrating that Tony Stark and Iron Man have such a big part in the first 3 phases of the MCU anyway. Like, I don't think would Downey even do it? Like, because I don't even think Downey would do it. Like, it doesn't even make sense to me.
I don't want to spoil certain things, but they've gotten big actors to come back for a prize.
You can spoil whatever you want, because
Patrick
I don't
Stewart
care.
Came back, right?
Yeah, he was in Doctor Strange, right?
Ian McKellen just signed. Michael Fassbender's joining up. Hugh Jackman is going to be in the 3rd Deadpool movie, which will be in the MCU.
I can't wait for that. That's going to be great.
I will jizz in the theater. I swear to God.
Yeah, that's going to be great. I can't wait for that.
But we do got to move on. So my number 5 is Thor: The Dark World. We've already said plenty about Thor. This is the weakest of all the movies, in my opinion. Um,
It's not good.
It's really bad. Like, I was like 12 years old when I saw it, and I was like, what a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So
I was not 12 years old when I saw it, but I thought the same thing.
at least we were on the same page walking out of the theater. But
it's not great. It's really not great.
I mean, if you guys have seen it, it came out like 10 years ago. Don't watch it if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it, I'm sorry. That's all I'm going to say about it. So I'm just going to turn it right back over to you for your number 4.
I mean, I'll kick it right back to you for your number 4 because my number 4 is X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh, okay, cool. So back to yet another MCU one. Did you watch Eternals?
Damn. No.
Don't watch it. Angelina Jolie wasted. Salma Hayek. Am I saying that right?
Salma Hayek?
Yeah, she wasted. You know, they brought in the two of the brothers from Game of Thrones, both, or Jon Snow and one of the brothers, both trash. That movie is 2 hours and 40 minutes long, and they lead you on a goose chase about shit that you don't care about. They mention Endgame, and it doesn't mean shit. And you are, like, the CGI, CGI has gotten really bad at Marvel, okay? These monsters looked like they were made in claymation.
Well, that's because, like, the problem is like, Marvel as a whole, like, the effects houses that do the effects work for these movies, they're putting, like, increasing demand and increasing workload on them and trying to pressure them to do more stuff. Like, these effects artists are, like, they're good, talented effects artists, but they're literally running them into the ground and killing them because they're trying to get them to pump out so much stuff. And, like, the pay, like, I guess they get paid dick, like, in comparison to, like, all the work they have to do. Like, it's kind of really sad that, like, Marvel, like, you think about Marvel, like, how prolific Marvel is just in terms of, like, the overarching, like, how much, if you go to an actor and you say, hey, you want to be in a Marvel movie, they're gonna be like, fuck yeah, it's a Marvel movie, you know? Like, it's they've become so big and so prolific, but the fact that they pay the effects houses and treat them so badly has become, like, really, really, really bad. And, like, it's starting to show now. Like, I haven't seen all the movies, granted, lately that have come out, but, like, I've seen, like, trailers and I've seen, like, heard other people's reactions to how bad the effects are. And it's like, yeah, because they're working these people to fucking death.
Literally to death. It's awful. Yeah. And, like, I look at Eternals. The worst thing that they did, they decided to take a star player from the Avengers storyline, and they decided to, you know, Star Fox, huge, super important in a lot of Avengers storylines, and they just took crap on him. They shit on him, and it was awful. It was true. They casted Harry fucking Styles. They casted a Australian boy band singer to play a major superhero in the MCU. And that's what I was left with.
I can't even remember. I saw trailers for Eternals and I just was like, I think, well, we'll talk about it as we come up soon, but, you know, I checked out on Marvel, like, completely, and I just kind of wholesale stopped watching things, like, altogether at a certain point. So
oh, so we got to speed this up. I did not realize what time it was. Good gosh.
Fuck.
So we're gonna send it over to you for your number 3.
Well, prepare to get salty, folks, because my number 3 is Avengers Endgame.
Gonna be on here.
I hate Avengers Endgame so much. First of all, they depict half of the people have been snapped away. Half of 8 billion is still 4 billion people. If you have 4 billion people living in the world, it would not be a post-apocalyptic wasteland where everything was desolate and deserted. I'm sorry, but people would still play fucking baseball. 5 years after, like, I know, like, it would be grief and, like, people are trying to move on and all this stuff, but people would still the fuck play baseball, okay? You tell me the Mets can't find a bunch of other people to replace the dust that snapped away over there? Fuck off. Bullshit. Then they bring back, like, the whole plot gets kicked off because a rat accidentally steps on a switch in a van. Like, fucking, and then, like, they go to Tony Stark and they're like, Tony, we got to learn how to time travel to fix this. And he's just like, there's a quick montage. It's like 20 seconds. Sits back. Shit, I just figured it out. Like, it's so cheap and it's so lazy and it's so bad. It's so, like, yes, it has the good fan service payoff moments and it's like, oh, Cap catches Mjolnir and that's great. And it's yay. It's super happy. But I'm also the person, I'm sorry. They should have killed Stark in Infinity War. They had that great moment in Infinity War where Thanos is beating the shit out of him and he has him. And I hate MCU movies, but even I was on the edge of my seat, emotional, like, fuck, they're going to kill Tony Stark in this movie. And then they chickened the fuck out of it. They chickened out of it. And then they had him in Endgame and that, like, there's any fucking number. Like, you could have Captain Marvel, who is literally infinitely fucking powerful, take that shit and snap the fingers, like, to do the blip or whatever. Fucking hell. Just bullshit. Like, his whole sacrifice at the end of that movie is so hollow to me.
Well, the theory
I fucking hated it.
The theory is that Doctor Strange had Tony snap because he wanted to get rid of him. Because he knew he would have to figure out how to time travel and everything. And essentially with that, he would be able to go and get Infinity Stones whenever he wanted to and however many he wanted. So he would be able to be the most infinitely powerful human being ever. And Doctor Strange was like, oh, yep, nope, not even going to take a chance. You're dead.
I like that better than what we got. I want that to be true just because of what we got. I just, like I said, like the whole movie took me out of the whole aesthetic from the get-go. You knew after Infinity War, all these actors were under contracts for multiple films in the MCU after this. You knew they were all coming back, so it was just a matter of figuring out how to do it. But like I said, like, you depict the world as this post-apocalyptic wasteland. Like, they have those shots of, like, everything's abandoned and shit. There's still 4 billion fucking, fuck off. Like, you have New York City, like, they're showing shots of New York City. Like, if half the population's gone, there's still, like, millions and millions of people. Like, it's not like there's, like, 2 people there. Like, it just was like, you seriously, like, huge, fuck this movie. God, I'm getting madder now thinking about it.
Let's move on, and I'm pretty much just going to kick it back to you. But this movie is the predecessor to Cocaine Bear. It is Fan 4 Stick. If you guys do not know what I'm talking about, I am talking about Josh Trank's Fantastic Four from 2015.
That's good. Oh, shit, he did a lot of cocaine during that movie.
I'm pretty sure that's all he did.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God.
But yeah, so what's your number 2, man?
That's good. That's good. Okay, so we're going to go real old school on this, ladies and gentlemen. Real old school. Now, I did not see these movies until I was older, so that's why I'm coming at this one. It is Superman 2, the original Richard Lester cut of the film.
Not the Richard Donner cut.
Not the Richard Donner cut, which is, aside from the fact that they had to use test footage to fill in gaps and stuff like that, a masterpiece, because it's what that movie should have been all along. Superman throws his chest shield, a cellophane fucking Superman shield, at Non in the Fortress of Solitude. That's all I gotta say. You have a scene where one of the baddies blows super breath, and a person on fucking roller skates goes, like, twirling around backwards on the fucking terrible. Unbelievable.
I don't think I've ever watched the Richard Lester version of that movie. I think I've only watched the Richard Donner version.
Don't. It will. And the funny thing is, too, is, like, Hackman refused to come back to do the reshoots for Lester, so all his footage is still the Donner version. But, like, you could tell, like, they had no money for sets or anything, so everything looks super cheap in the reshoots. Everything looks like garbage, and then it's legitimately like I said. I mean, literally the whole scene. The only thing I can possibly think of is he pulls the shield off of his chest, and it turns into a giant cellophane S. And it hits Non, and then he like it knocks him over, and then he like rolls over, and he's like, huh. Like it has no real effect on him. It doesn't really do anything except for it stuns him so much because he's like, I can't believe that just fucking happened to me. Why? Like it's so bad. And like when we finally got the Donner cut, finally, it's so good. The Donner cut is the true sequel to Superman the movie that we always should have had, you know. And I mean, granted, it was 1970s technology; they couldn't give us what we would get in a modern day superhero film. But you still like Zod and the Kryptonians feel menacing in that film. They're cartoon characters in the Lester version. They're fucking cartoon characters. It's dumb.
I'm definitely going to stay away from it. I own the box set, but I also have the Richard Donner one, and.
See, if you've seen the Donner cut, though, I'll caveat that. If you've seen the Donner cut, it's worth it if you love bad movies. Because if you're somebody who can really enjoy bad movies and you can just watch a movie and laugh your ass off at it, you're going to laugh a lot at how bad and the bad decisions that were made in the making of that movie. You really will. It's entertaining in that respect, and in that respect alone.
Well, okay, so I usually hate bad movies, but there's one bad movie that everyone fucking hates. I don't know why. But it stars Margot Robbie. It is a Michael Myers film. It's called Terminal.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Honestly, dude, it's actually really not that bad. The story's meh, but if you just look past the story and you look at it for its artistic vision of what it's trying to do, it's awesome. It's great. I love it. But you really have to check your brains at the door.
I mean, we on Epic Film, guys, when the pandemic hit and we were like, theaters were closing down, and we were like, well, fuck, what are we going to do? Well, Justin loves Canon movies. Canon was the studio that made Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, for example. Masters of the Universe. Like they did so many like no budget shit schlock films. And we just watched all Canon movies like the whole time through the whole 2020 pretty much. And it was one of the most glorious times I ever had on Epic Film, guys, because we got to watch some movies that they're not good. By any objective measure, they're not good. But Jesus Christ, are they fun to watch. If for no other reason than you could just laugh your ass off at these movies. And that's what the Lester cut of Superman 2 is at this point. That is what it deserves. And if you want to see how good Richard Lester really is a director, then watch Superman 3, where Superman has to fight against himself and Richard Pryor for some reason.
So bad. See, literally, I have the box set. The first one's unwrapped. The third one's unwrapped. 2 and 4 are not. I wanted to watch this third one because I was like, hey.
4 is worth it. I promise you it's worth it. It's bad. It's bad. It's worse than you even think it is, but it's so, like, there's a scene, I shit you not, I'm ruining it for you, I don't care, you've had the box set, you could have watched it by now. There's a scene in it where Nuclear Man is, like, zapping people in a public square, and Superman stands up and he goes, no, the people, but doesn't do anything to stop him. He just tells him to stop, and that's it. That's the scene.
That sounds like Howard the Duck.
It's fucking, I mean, it's a Canon movie. They had no budget. They had literally nothing, but it's amazing to me that movie still got made. And it's like, it's hilariously bad. It's worth it just to enjoy it in its badness. Yeah. But that's it. Lester cut Superman 2. That's my number 2.
All right. So my number 2 might come as a surprise. Maybe not. It's Wonder Woman 1984.
Not a surprise at all.
Yeah, no. I'm just going to say it. Patty Jenkins knocked the first one out of the park. But when you literally didn't even show the main antagonist, which was Cheetah, like, they didn't show her at all. Like, even in her fight scene, you can't see her.
Terrible fucking effects in that movie. Terrible.
And it was so long and so stupid. And bringing Chris Pine back, no, that was dumb too. Come on, fuck that. That's all I'm gonna say. I really can't say much more. Like, the plot was weak. Gal Gadot tried to hold it together. Couldn't really do much. She's not that level of an actress, you know.
The one thing I really loved about that movie, and a lot of people lambaste the movie for it, is Pedro Pascal. Mm-hmm. He is every bit of what a sleazy 1980s like infomercial pitchman. That's exactly what he is, and he pulls it off to a T. He's perfect in it. That's exactly what he was going for, and you could tell, and he nailed it.
So we're gonna head right back to you for your number one then. What is the most disappointing superhero film of all time to you?
So, 2013.
Oh, God, fuck off.
We walked into, I'm telling a story here, calm down. We walked into a theater, myself and Justin, we waited in line at midnight, because that's what you used to do to watch these movies in the big screen, to watch Man of Steel. And Justin and I got interviewed by another podcast. That's the first time we'd ever even heard a podcast or anything like that. We weren't even the Epic Film guys then. And watched Man of Steel, talked about how amazing it was the whole way home. Man of Steel is one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. Love, 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 love.
You gave me half a heart attack. I thought you were about to shit on it.
Batman vs. Superman comes out in 2016. And while I have my issues with it, I'm fine with it. But then, an unholy abomination called Justice League was released at the end of 2017. And remember how earlier I talked about leaving the theater angry, straight up angry, like furious that I had even watched a movie? That was me leaving the theater after watching the 2017 Justice League. Like the CGI Superman lip thing aside, like, because that was bad enough on its own, but the fact that you first of all, 2-hour runtime when you have to introduce how many major characters in this film and have a whole plot and have plot arcs continuing from previous movies and have all these, first of all, 2 hours, ridiculous that the studio mandated a 2-hour cut, but they wanted them bonuses, baby. You can't get them bonuses if you don't get the movie out by 2017. You get Joss Whedon in there, who, of course, directed Avengers and all those kinds of different things. But
we already.
And I'm sorry, but like his vision and Snyder's vision are leagues apart, and you can't take the two and gel them together. So when you try to smash them together, it doesn't work. Every single thing about the Whedon cut of Justice League is unfathomably bad. Steppenwolf, holy shit. And especially after having seen Zack Snyder's Justice League and how menacing and fucking great a villain he really was in the original cut, and they neutered him to be that, and then they cut Darkseid out of the movie entirely, so basically he was it.
Yeah.
But are you fucking serious? Unfathomable. I was livid reviewing this movie, like coming out of the theater watching this movie. Like I said, Man of Steel, top superhero movie of all time for me. Batman versus Superman, I love most of it for the most part.
Except for Martha, I love that movie. Except for that plot point.
I contend, and stay with me on this, Batman versus Superman is a perfect movie if and only if take Batman out of it. Remove Batman from it wholesale, and the entire plot of the movie is Lex Luthor trying to discredit and then destroy Superman. How fucking good of a Man of Steel sequel would that have been? But we didn't get it, and they shoved Batman in it instead. And then they had to find a way to make them friends again, and that scene is very shoehorned. Yes, I agree. So that movie's not perfect, but I see it through the eyes of the version I just told you. Like, it's Lex Luthor trying to discredit and destroy Superman, which is so perfect of a fucking plot of a movie. You didn't need anything else, but they thought they needed Batman because we got to catch the MCU. But yeah, Justice, it's so bad. It's so bad. And then it's made worse. It's made worse by the fact that we did finally get Zack Snyder's Justice League. And granted, it's a 4-hour long movie. Not all of those 4 hours ever would have made a full cut of that film, people. Never would have happened in a theatrical sense. But that movie is 25,000 times the movie that Whedon's version of that god-awful piece of shit ever dreamed of being. It's unfathomable to me that they... And I get that the critical reaction and the audience reaction to Batman versus Superman wasn't great. And they were coming off a negative reaction to Suicide Squad. And they were like, well, we got to shake this up and we got to do whatever and everything. But fuck, man, God, is that movie bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad on every conceivable level of bad.
Well, I'm
so
happy to hear you say that. So happy because, yeah, I fucking hated that movie too. That was another one where I walked out and was like, at first I was
so
like,
bad.
And then we got Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I was like, oh yeah, that's garbage. That it disrespects garbage to put it on that level, the same level.
Unfathomable to me that you have take the dark side edness of Zack Snyder's Justice League out of it and whatever. Just Steppenwolf himself, the way they changed the design of Steppenwolf to make him look like a whatever the hell that was, and like to neuter him and make him this fucking piss ass pansy fucking dick. Fuck.
Well, you might actually be surprised with my number one because it is also a DC movie. No, it's not Batman v Superman. No, it's not Suicide Squad. No, it's not Wonder Woman. No, it's not Aquaman. It's fucking Shazam.
Shazam? Really? Shazam?
Fuck that movie.
Wow.
Okay, I'm just gonna... I'm gonna make my whole adoptive family part of like this whole, like, part of my team, and I'm gonna make a Avengers team now. It was so stupid. And also, I literally sat in that movie, and when he's in the, like, cave with Digimon Hunsu, or however, Hunson, I literally sat there and made Bill Cosby jokes the whole time. Because he's just like, he's telling a little boy, reach out, grab my staff, and say my name.
You want some of my pudding pop? What does this have to do with your wizard powers?
So you see what you understand where I'm coming from now. Like, that was the best part of the movie, was me making fun of the movie. Like, if I have to make fun of it for it to be funny, for it to be good, like, fuck that. And I literally have a poster of Shazam above me just because my best friend knew that I hated this movie so much, she got me a poster for my birthday.
Cruel.
Yeah.
Piss weak villain. You get Mark Strong, and then you get piss weak villain in that movie.
So bad. And
piss ass fucking
like, I
weak.
think you're trying to go for
terrible
the war and everything, but it's just bad.
No, piss ass weak villains. Just yeah, not good.
But sadly,
I like Zachary Levi though as Shazam. I really do like Zachary Levi in that role.
Him off in the 4 movies. I wish he had a bigger role in those movies. But sadly, that is all the time we have for today. Nick, go ahead and plug where the listeners can find you.
So right now, this time of year, and literally anytime, because you'll find me if you want to find me. I don't really care. I just want to spread a little message of positivity and love to everybody. Be good to yourselves. Be kind to yourselves, no matter what you're struggling with. I promise you that you can do it. Believe in yourself and keep working, keep fighting, no matter what it is. And check out Livestream for the Cure. Livestream for the Cure 7 is May 18th through the 20th, 2023. We're going to have a ton of amazing content creators from around the world raising $25,000 for cancer research. We're going to break 100,000 this year. At least that's my hope. We're going to break 6 digits this year, which for a dude like me who is nobody ever in the history of anything, to raise literally any money to do anything is amazing. But yeah, cancer research, it's, if you hate cancer, come out and donate a few bucks, or if you can't donate, it's fine. Just come out and hang out and watch. We've got amazing content from really, really great creators, from around the world. So it's a really fun event. So come out and hang out and probably hear me shit on more Marvel movies, at some point, 'cause almost certain.
Yeah, I love it. You know, you guys know where to find us. But before, thank you, Nick. Thank you for coming on.
Thank
This has been
you.
a dream
Thank
come
you for
true. It's
having me.
like, hey, I used to listen to these guys. These guys are the, influence on me, and they really inspired me to, start doing what I'm doing here at the Daily Double Down Network, and fulfill my dreams and try to make that true. So I really, really appreciate you jumping on here with me, man. Really
It's
appreciate
my
talking
pleasure.
some
Really,
shit about it,
honestly.
about a lot of Marvel movies, to be honest. But with that being said,
No, we seriously, we need to get in touch about that whole movies we hate thing because Nick hates a lot of
we'll see.
movies.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it
But
up
yeah,
to the listeners. Um, I'm gonna put out a poll on Instagram and on Twitter, and whoever's list wins. I don't know if it's cool with you. I would make you watch a bad movie, or you get to make me watch a bad movie, and I'm pretty sure your list is gonna win because people fucking hate me.
I mean, I already hate a lot of shit, so that's kind of like that's all that, like, ever since I don't do Epic Film Guys anymore, full time. So it's basically, that's whenever anybody has me at a movie show, it's because they want to punish me somehow. Like Brad right now from the Cinema Guys, like I'm watching through the Underworld movies with Brad.
God,
Holy
dude, I
shit.
have not touched them for a reason.
Shit. Like, they're worse than you thought. Like, whatever you're thinking in your head how bad they are, they're not. They're worse. I promise you they're worse. I've only watched the first one, and they get worse from there. I can't even imagine. That's what people do to me. So yeah, like, I'm dude, I love watching anything. And I'm that kind of person. Like, I will watch movies that, especially if it's a really bad movie, like you start talking about stuff like from Neil Breen or whatever, or like Tommy Wiseau's The Room. Like, I adore that movie, unabashedly love it. Well, I mean, like, you get really good shots of the tits when he's fucking her in the stomach. It's, like, I like those kind of movies, like, that are like in the Neil Breen movie, they like copy paste him, like, fucking to a, like, he's jumping to a, it's so fucking like that kind of shit, like, where there's passion in it. Like, somebody was passionate and they made this and they really believed in it. It sucks shit. There's people with paper mustaches taped onto that movie. I'm not lying. That's a thing that happened.
Oh,
but it's great. Like, I can love, like, you'd be surprised the kind of weird shit that I can, like I said, those canon movies, watching those canon movies in 2020 for EFG, like, fuck, man, it opens your eyes to a whole different world of cinema that I'd be game for. So yeah, movies, anytime, literally anytime you sign me up, I'll be there, man.
So it's official. We'll set up a Twitter poll and an Instagram poll, and whoever wins, because I'm sure he will, we'll probably going to be watching another show.
I gotta think of something good.
I'm scared already. But as for the listeners, you guys know where to find us. You can check us out at ddoubledownnetwork.com. You guys can find all of our social medias, as well as our other two shows, one focusing on conspiracies and the other focusing on football. But with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in to the special bonus episode. Thank you once again, Nick, and we will see you guys later.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course.